Relax and allow tonight's story to gently ease you to sleep. The Adventure of Bellflower and Acalypha. This story is about Bellflower and Acalypha's enchanting adventure in the enchanted forest, where they make new friends and overcome challenges. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between gentle hills and a sparkling river, lived a kind hot-headed girl named Bellflower and her best friend, a lively rabbit named Acalypha. Bellflower had long, flowing hair the color of chestnuts, and her eyes twinkled like the evening stars. Acalypha, with his snow-white fur and twitching nose, was always full of energy and curiosity. One warm spring morning, Bellflower and Acalypha set out on a grand adventure. Their destination was the legendary enchanted forest, a place neither of them had ever dared to venture before. With a basket filled with freshly baked bread, cheese, and apples, they skipped along the cobbled path that led out of the village, humming a cheerful tune. The sun was high in the sky, casting a golden glow over the rolling fields and sleepy meadows. As they entered the forest, a canopy of emerald leaves formed a mystical archway above them. The air was cool and smelled of pine and wildflowers. Bellflower and Acalypha marveled at the beauty around them. Suddenly, Acalypha's keen ears picked up a soft crying sound. They followed the sound to find a tiny wasp fawn entangled in a thicket of thorny bushes. With gentle hands, Bellflower carefully freed the frightened creature, while Acalypha plucked away the thorns with his nimble paws. Playful, the fawn led them deeper into the forest, to a hidden glade where magical creatures lurked. They met fairies with wings that shimmered like dewdrops, wise old owls that spoke in riddles, and playful sprites that danced among the flowers. Bellflower and Acalypha were welcomed with a feast of wild berries and nectar. As twilight fell, the glade shimmered with soft, ethereal light. The adventure did not end there. The sudden rustling alerted them to the presence of a mischievous fox who had stolen the fairy's sacred crystal. Determined to help their new friends, Bellflower and Acalypha embarked on a daring chase. They followed the fox through twisting paths and across babbling brooks until they finally cornered it. Bellflower spoke gently to the fox, convincing it to return the crystal in exchange for a share of their feast. Relieved, the fairy celebrated by casting a spell that illuminated the night with thousands of glowing fireflies. Exhausted but elated, Bellflower and Acalypha made their way back home under the blanket of a star-studded sky. They knew that their bond had grown even stronger, and that their hearts would forever carry the magic of the enchanted forest. As they reached their village, Bellflower whispered to Acalypha, "No matter where our adventures take us, our friendship will always light the way." Acalypha nodded, his eyes filled with the memories of their wonderful day. And so, they both slipped into a peaceful sleep, dreaming of the adventures yet to come. Let's embrace the next chapter of our journey. Willie and the Winter Spirit. This story is about a little girl named Willie who befriends Sweet Pea, a winter spirit, and they share magical adventures in the enchanted winter forest. Once upon a time, deep in the heart of an ancient forest, lived a little girl named Willie. She had golden hair that sparkled under the sunlight and eyes as blue as the summer sky. During the cold winter months, the forest would transform into wonderland, with trees adorned in coats of sparkling frost. It was during one of these magical winters that Willie met Sweet Pea, the winter spirit. Sweet Pea was a delicate being in shimmering like the frost itself, with wings that sparkled and a gentle glow that warmed the heart. They first encountered each other when Willie was out collecting firewood for her family. Pea appeared from behind an ancient oak, curious about the human child wandering in the cold. At first, Willie was startled, but soon she sensed kindness in Sweet Pea's twinkling eyes. They quickly became friends, bonding over their mutual love for the forest. Sweet Pea showed Lily the hidden secrets of the winter forest, from the crystalline caves to the sparkling icicles hanging like stars in the trees. Lily would visit Sweet Pea every day, and they would play amongst the snowflakes, creating patterns and shapes that only true friends could imagine. Sweet Pea's favorite thing to do was to make snowflakes dance in the air, painting the sky with 1,000 twinkling lights. One evening, as the twilight cast long shadows through the forest, Sweet Pea revealed a hidden glade filled with the softest snow and the purest silence. Here, Sweet Pea told Lily about the ancient magic of the forest, and how the winter spirit protected it during the cold months. Lily listened with wide-eyed wonder, feeling a deep respect for her friend's duty. As the winter days grew shorter, and the promise of spring loomed in the air, Lily realized that her time with Sweet Pea would soon come to an end. Sweet Pea sensed Lily's sadness and comforted her by creating a beautiful, glowing necklace made of frost and moonlight, symbolizing their friendship. The necklace would glow whenever Lily missed Sweet Pea, reminding her of the magic they shared. When the first signs of spring began to appear, Sweet Pea hugged Lily tightly, whispering promises of meeting again next winter. With a heavy heart, Lily returned to her family, cherishing the memories of her magical friend. Seasons passed, and Lily grew up, but she never forgot Sweet Pea or the enchanted winters they spent together. Every winter, she would wear the glowing necklace, feeling the warmth of their friendship despite the cold. In return, Sweet Pea watched over Lily, protecting her and her family from the harshest winter storms. Their bond was proof that even the simplest connections could be magical and last a lifetime, like an evergreen memory etched in the heart of the forest. Here's another story to bring you comfort and peace. Dan and Peony, a tale of respect. This story is about a young man named Dan, who teaches an angel named Peony the essence of respect through the harmonious life of his village. Once in a peaceful village nestled between verdant hills lived a kind-hearted young man, Dan. He was known throughout the village for his gentle disposition and readiness to help anyone in need. His humble cottage was always open to lost travelers and weary villagers alike. One starry night, as Dan walked back home, he saw a radiant light descending from the sky. To his amazement, it was an angel named Peony, whose wings shimmered like 1,000 diamonds. "Greetings, Dan," Peony said with a melodious voice filled with warmth. Dan, astonished and curious, asked, "Why have you come here, Peony?" Smiling gently, Peony replied, "I have come to visit the human world and understand the essence of respect, something that your village is renowned for." Dan agreed to show her around, and as they walked through the village, Peony observed how deeply everyone respected each other. Here, respect is not just a word. It is a way of life, Dan explained as they watched villagers helping elders, sharing food and listening to one another attentively. Peony was deeply moved by the harmony and compassion she witnessed. She realized that respect in Dan's village was a binding force that brought joy and peace to everyone. As dawn broke, Peony knew it was time to return to her celestial home. "Thank you, Dan, for showing me the true meaning of respect," she said. "You have reminded me that respect transcends all boundaries and illuminates even the darkest of times." Dan bowed humbly and replied, "It was an honor, Peony. May your light continue to shine brightly upon us all." With a final heartfelt smile, Peony ascended back to the heavens, leaving behind a trail of shimmering light. Dan watched until she vanished from sight, feeling a renewed sense of purpose and gratitude. He continued to live his life, inspired by the angel's visit, fostering respect and kindness in every corner of the village. And now, let's settle in for another heartwarming tale. Camellia and Tulip, A Tale of Compromise. This story is about Camellia and her goldfish Tulip, who find a compromise to ensure both safety and happiness by creating a special enclosure in the pond. In a quaint cottage nestled at the edge of a lush forest, there lives a woman named Camellia with her beloved goldfish. Camellia had a gentle spirit, known to all in the village for her kindness and the enchanted lullabies she sang under the moonlight. Every evening, she would sit by the pond in her garden, where Tulip resided in a crystal-clear bowl adorned with aquatic plants and colorful pebbles. One summer night, as the stars began to twinkle, Camellia noticed Tulip looking a bit restless. His tiny gills fluttered nervously, and his usually graceful swimming seemed hurried. Worried, she leaned closer to understand what might be troubling her tiny friend. "What's the matter, Tulip?" she asked softly. Tulip, in his own fishy way, tried to communicate his desire for a bigger space. He had grown quite fond of the pond and longed to explore its depths rather than being confined to his bowl. Camellia was troubled by this revelation. She loved Tulip dearly and wanted him to be happy, but she also feared for his safety in the larger, unpredictable pond. The following day, Camellia visited Mr. Wren, the wise old man who was known for understanding the whispers of nature. She explained Tulip's dilemma to him. With a twinkle in his eye, Mr. Wren suggested, "Why not create a little enclosure within the pond? This way, Tulip can experience the pond's wonders while staying protected." Excited by the idea, Camellia spent the next 2 days building a miniature paradise for Tulip. She constructed a small, safe enclosure in the pond, adding tiny gates and planting vibrant water lilies around it. She even ensured that there were spaces for Tulip to swim through so he could feel the freedom of the pond while staying secure. On the day of the grand move, she carefully placed Tulip into his new haven. Tulip rolled around joyfully, exploring every nook and cranny of his new abode. Camellia watched with a heart full of love and relief. From that day onward, Tulip thrived in his pond enclosure, and Camellia found peace in knowing he was safe yet happy. They continued to share their quiet evenings by the pond, with Camellia singing her lullabies and Tulip dancing gracefully in the water. Their bond grew even stronger, bound by a beautiful compromise, where both their wishes found harmony. Good night. May comfort and calmness fill your dreams.